It's a slow-moving truck assembly line that Southbury resident Wesley Knecht operates in a workshop in his backyard shed, where it can take him anywhere from 250 to 400 hours to build a big rig or wrecker.
I've done 19. I got into it 21 years ago. My son is out in Indiana. He drives a heavy-duty wrecker. And I found plans, just generic plans, Peterbilt truck with a wrecker on the back, that I found the plans for that, so I decided I'm going to build it for him. And what I learned from that, I do these on my own.
Knecht knows a lot about heavy-duty trucks. He drove them for 38 years before retiring.
I started with trailers, 18-wheelers. The last 23 was with O&G, mostly in triaxles. Dump trucks.
His creations are based on real models. They're both detailed and gorgeous.
I take all my own measurements, a ton of pictures, and I come back and scale it down to an 1/18 of an inch, and I start to build. I'm pretty much self-taught. My father was a carpenter by trade. I'm very particular on how the grain of the wood flows. I throw as much detail into these things as I can. And I tell people, I see detail on these things that the average person would not see, because my background was driving trucks.
The wood he uses is both familiar and exotic.
The dark wood is walnut. The main cab of the truck, the nose is butternut. I use basswood for the whiter wood that's more like accent stuff, like for aluminum or chrome. And then I use, there's yellow heart, that's an exotic wood. It's yellow, that I use for clearance lights, signal lights, things like that. And then I have bloodwood, that's red, that I can use for taillights.
There are some challenges to his truck building.
Some of the harder parts are just doing the fenders. There's a lot goes into doing a fender, starting with a block of wood and having to round it and finish it off and get the rounded edges to it. And some of it I do with the router, some of it's by hand.
Knecht has built 19 trucks over the past 21 years. He does it simply for enjoyment.
Yes, it's a hobby. I don't want it as a full-time job. If it's a full-time job, then it's not going to be fun anymore. If I do one, maybe two a year, I'm happy.
And he's not married to one brand.
I've done Kenworth, I've done Peterbilt, I've done Mack, I've done International. I've done a lot of the bigger names.
While he has sold one model for $3,000, others have been given away.
I don't get what they're really worth. Nobody's going to pay me what they're really worth. There's so much time involved. Each one that's gone out of state has been hand-delivered. Chicago, Indianapolis area, Tennessee, they were all hand-delivered. I refuse. There's no way I can ship them. They're too delicate.
And he still has some goals.
I haven't done a triaxle dump truck yet, which is what I drove for most of my career at O&G. So I'd like to do one of them. Since
Ride Connecticut visited his workshop in late May, Knecht has finished the truck he was working on at the time. That's Ride Connecticut. I'm Bud Wilkinson. And once again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free.